Have you ever done something good just to be noticed? Maybe you helped someone, but deep down, you hoped others would see and praise you for it. In Matthew 6, Jesus warns us about this kind of attitude. He teaches that true faith isn't about impressing others. It's about having a sincere heart before God. Let's take a closer look at this passage. Matthew 6. During this sermon, Jesus addresses three key spiritual practices: giving to the needy, praying, and fasting. These were essential parts of Jewish religious life. But Jesus saw a problem. Some people were using these acts to gain attention and admiration rather than to honor God. Jesus begins with a warning. Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. Matthew 6, verse 1. He describes how some people, especially religious leaders, would make a big show of their generosity, ensuring everyone saw their good deeds. But Jesus says, when you give, do it in secret. Your reward comes from God, not from human praise. Jesus continues, be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. He describes how some people, especially religious leaders, would make a big show of their generosity, ensuring everyone saw their good deeds. But Jesus says, when you give, do it in secret. Your reward comes from God, not from human praise. Then, Jesus talks about prayer. He criticizes those who pray loudly in public, not out of genuine devotion, but to be admired. Instead, Jesus teaches, when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father, who is unseen. This doesn't mean we should never pray in public, but our focus should be on God, not an audience. True prayer is a conversation with Him, not a performance. Finally, Jesus addresses fasting. Some would fast in a way that drew attention, walking around with gloomy faces, making sure everyone knew they were suffering. But Jesus says, when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father who is unseen. The message is clear. God sees what is done in secret, and He rewards sincerity over showmanship. So what does this mean for us today? When you help others, do it because you love them, not because you want recognition. When you pray, focus on your relationship with God, not on impressing others. When you fast or make sacrifices, do it with joy, knowing it's between you and God. Jesus isn't against good deeds, prayer, or fasting. He's teaching us to check our motives. Are we living for God's approval or human applause? Take some time today to reflect on how you practice your faith. Is it about showing off or growing closer to God? Live for God, not for applause. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, be sure to like and share. Let's keep growing in faith together.